Hello, today's lesson is on the order of operations for Algebra Prep 1. PEMDAS. I'm sure you've heard of this acronym before, such as Please Eat My Dead Ant Sandwich. It's what I remember back in elementary school, but perhaps you know it as Please Excuse My Dear Aunt Sally. But think of this list as a list of priorities that are extremely important. And understand that calculators do not know the order of operations, so you have to do them for them. So the P stands for parentheses, then come the exponents, then comes multiplication and division at the same time because we want to work them left to right, and then addition and subtraction. Just like multiplication and division, we want to work addition and subtraction left to right. Let's start with 8 divided by 2 times 3 plus 4 squared. I see that I have an exponent, so I'll start with that. Therefore, I'll write everything else and do one step at a time. 8 divided by 2 times 3 plus 16. Then I see I have division, multiplication, and addition. Next in PEMDAS comes multiplication and division in order from left to right, so I will tackle 8 divided by 2 first, giving me 4 times 3 plus 16. Now we can do 4 times 3, which is 12, and 12 plus 16 is 28. Let's try negative 3 cubed minus 2 to the 4th power. Since they both are in the exponents, we can work them together. So negative 3 cubed is negative 3 times negative 3 times negative 3, giving us negative 27 minus 2 to the 4th, which is 16. And then negative 27 minus 16 is negative 43. What about negative 1/5 times 1/2 minus 3/2 squared? I see that I have multiplication and exponents, so I'll start with the exponents. Note that 3/2 times 3/2 multiplying straight across gives us 9/4, giving me the next line in our expression here at negative 1/5 times 1/2 minus 9/4. Multiplication comes next, so negative 1/10, because 1 times 1 is 1 and 5 times 2 is 10, minus 9/4. In order to subtract these two, we need to have a common denominator. I chose 40, but a smaller one might be 20. So 4 40ths minus 90 40ths gives me negative 94 40ths. Moving that into a mixed number, 40 can go into 94 twice with 14 40ths left over, and then reducing down to, this should be 7 20ths, dividing by half. Let's do 2 times 2 minus 3 cubed plus 6 divided by 3 plus 8 minus 5 squared. I have parentheses and we need to do those things first. So I will take 2 minus 3 and 8 minus 5, and I'll rewrite everything else. 2 minus 3 is negative 1 and 8 minus 5 is 3. Now we can do the exponents. Negative 1 cubed gives me negative 1 and 3 squared gives me 9. Everything else just moves down. Next we must work multiplication and division left to right. So I will start with 2 times negative 1, which is negative 2, and 6 divided by 3, giving me positive 2 plus 9. And now we can add and subtract from left to right. Negative 2 plus 2 is 0, and 0 plus 9 is 9. 96 divided by 2 times the quantity 12 plus the difference between 6 and 2 minus 3 squared. So we need to start with parentheses first, and here I have 6 minus 2. And 6 minus 2 gives me 4, and I get to remove the parentheses. but I still have some items in my bracket, so I need to focus inside my bracket next. 12 plus 4 gives us 16. Everything else is the same. Now that I had the brackets around 16, but that indicates multiplication, so now I can move on to my exponents. 3 squared gives me 9. So 96 divided by 2 times 16 minus 9. Now don't be fooled by wanting to take 2 times 16, because we need to do 96 divided by 2 first, because multiplication and division works left to right. So 96 divided by 2 is 48 times 16 minus 9. Now we can take 48 times 16, which is 768, subtract 9 is 759.